because a man planned the perfect crime by planting cannabis in estranged wife's car, and he knew it could cause to draw the death penalty, you guys. Feeling angry at his estranged wife and wanting to get her in trouble with the law, a man planted 11 packets of cannabis weighing over 500 grams in her car, despite knowing it could draw the death penalty. He revealed his plan to his ex-girlfriend, snitching on himself, saying he had been planning the perfect crime for the past few days, and that he thought it would not link back to him. Tan Zhonglong, a 37-year-old Singaporean, was sentenced to 3 years and 10 months jail on Thursday, August 29th, for one count of possessing at least 216 grams of cannabis, the amount of the pure drugs eventually found in the 11 packets. Cannabis is a Class A controlled drug under the Misuse of Drugs Act, and a second charge of fabricating false evidence was taken into consideration, you guys. So, you want to hear about the case? Well, the court heard that Tan was an IT manager living with his parents. He got married to his then wife in 2021, but their relationship deteriorated over time. In October of 2022, his wife moved out of his parents' home where they had been staying together, basically shacking up. They were unable to get a divorce at the time, and because of how short the marriage was, Tan consulted lawyers and came away with the idea that they could get a divorce if one of them had, that's right, a criminal record. At the time of the drug planting offense, the couple was undergoing separation proceedings, and Tan was aggravated at the amount of debt and interest that had occurred over the course of his marriage, court documents stated. And he felt that his wife had not, in quotes, contributed much, and got angry with her. In September of 2023, he hired a private investigator to get evidence of her alleged adultery. And when this failed, he began entertaining thoughts of planting illegal drugs in her car so as to scare her and get her in trouble with the law. He understood that she would be wrongly arrested and charged if his plan succeeded. And Tan's plan on October 14th, 2023, he told his ex-girlfriend in a Telegram chat that he had been planning, in quotes, the perfect crime for the past few days and thought it would not be linked to him. He told her that his plan involved him going to the police station, and Tan added he would call the police and might have to give a statement. He also said he was, in quotes, not sure if his then wife would be in the news. He added he was scared that he did not have enough money for his plan and that he had spent quite a bit on this. Well, I'm sure, because weed is so expensive out there because you're going to get the death penalty. On October 16, 2023, Tan found a channel on Telegram that was selling drugs and obtained a menu for the prices. Shout out, free Pavel. And he saw that cannabis was the cheapest drug per gram, and the maximum weight was 100 grams. He felt that was too little and asked the seller for a brick of cannabis, which he intended to use to get his then wife in trouble. While he knew it would weigh more than the other options, he thought it would be compressed and easier to handle. The brick of cannabis cost $2,600, but in the U.S., that's $1,997. And as Tan did not have enough money, he got a friend to help transfer the payment to the seller before deleting the incriminating chat messages. Tan collected the cannabis from a dry riser at a housing block and returned home to weigh it. He found that it weighed about 510 grams from his online research, and he knew that his then wife would face the death penalty if she was convicted of trafficking more than 500 grams of cannabis. As he was very angry with her, he proceeded with his plan, again alluding to it on his Telegram conversation with his ex-girlfriend. He told her he was deleting everything in her phone to be safe and would log out of Telegram. Tan added that he would go to, in quotes, those normal police, but rather the Central Narcotics Bureau, the CNB, and Criminal Investigation Department, the CID. And then he gets to planting the drugs, because on about 5 a.m. on October 17th, 2023, the private investigator Tan hired told him that the car was parked at a car park in Northeast Singapore. Tan drove over, unlocked the car with a set of keys he had, and unwrapped the cannabis. He wore gloves as he placed the 11 packets into the middle compartment of the rear passenger seat and closed it. The brick could not be placed inside, and the armrest compartment owing to its size. He then closed and locked the car door. However, he was leaving the car park. His then wife appeared. She had received a notification from her car in a camera mobile application, which informed her that there was a parking impact to her car. When she cracked the live footage, she saw Tan walking around the vehicle and decided to check. And when Tan saw her, he walked away. The woman called the police, saying she thought Tan was following her and that he had tried to open the car before leaving upon noticing her. Tan texted his wife expressing his fears, and Tan drove to Bangkok Square Mall, where he threw away the brick wrapper. He texted his ex-girlfriend about how he had seen his wife and expressed fear that he might have left his fingerprints behind, or that she might discover the cannabis because of its smell. Soon after, the police called him asking about his harassment. He lied to the police that he had been at the car park to change the battery for a GPS tracker he had placed on the car, as he suspected her of having an affair. He then told his ex-girlfriend via telegram that the police had called, and he admitted to her that he had placed 500 grams of weed in the car and that this could attract the death penalty. When his ex-girlfriend expressed shock, Tan said he was planning to report his wife to the CNB and the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority when she next visited Malaysia, you guys. However, he said he could not do this now, as his wife might accuse him of planting the cannabis. He asked his ex-girlfriend if he should, in quotes, faster report her first. His ex-girlfriend advised Tan to retrieve the cannabis, but Tan felt that would be tricky. He floated the idea of waiting a few days before calling the police, hoping his wife would not notice. He also proposed calling the CNB immediately to report that his wife had been doing drugs all along. Man, this guy. However, his ex-girlfriend advised him to retrieve the cannabis, and he ultimately agreed upon to do so. Then Tan drove back to the car park. Entering at about 8 a.m., he saw a policeman standing next to the car and made a U-turn and left. Unbeknownst to him, they had searched the car and found 11 packets of vegetable matter weighing 523.7 grams in total. Tan wanted to head back to retrieve the cannabis at around 2 p.m., and he thought his wife might be asleep, but instead was arrested at his own block, you guys. Tan's then wife also arrested, and a search of her room turned up nothing incriminating, and her mobile phone and car were seized, you guys. The 11 packets of vegetable matter were analyzed, and although it weighed over 500 grams, it was found to contain less than 216.17 grams of cannabis. Look at that. He got shorted. And the nefarious purpose, the prosecutor sought 4 years and 8 months in jail for Tan using a framework for the possession of cannabis by weight. And she said that Tan had a, in quotes, nefarious purpose for possessing the drugs, more so than if he had been a simple consumer. In a quote, his intention to frame the involved party for a serious offense carried high potential harm to an innocent person, said the prosecutor. She said Tan's plan was thought through and moderately sophisticated, involving research into how to acquire drugs, obtaining money to buy it, and the penalties for drug offenses, and how to report a person to the CNB. Tan also took steps to avoid detection by deleting chat messages on his phone and using gloves, you guys. The prosecutor accepted that Tan did not intend for the cannabis to be consumed or circulated, but said this does not mean his office should escape the detriment sentencing policy underlying archaeal-type drug offenses. The accused purchase of a significant quantity of drugs in itself enabled the local drug trade by lining the coffers of its suppliers and contributing to the impetus for drugs to be trafficked to Singapore, she said. For possessing a Class A controlled drug, Tan could have been jailed for up to 10 years and fined up to $20,000 or both, you guys. Man, oh man, oh man, this guy. Man, what a scumbag. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Tan is a loser. I can't imagine why his wife didn't want to be married to him. He's living in his mom's house. She's now got to live in his mom's house. I don't know how many of you have had mother-in-laws, but Rachelle, it's going to be just fine. They're going to be great. But it's sometimes difficult when you're in close quarters. And I also think that, like, what an idiot. This guy got ripped off by a telegram trapper.
Yeah,
he got arrested for his own stupid shit. It sounds like his wife drives a Tesla because the car was like, hey, excuse me, something's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
The car that he probably knew that about. Like, so how this wasn't like some nefarious supervillain who's like this in his lab coming up with the best way to get divorced ever. Like, dude, you just suck. I don't know why she married you in the first place. And I hope that the former Mrs. Tan has much better luck in her future endeavors.
Crazy.
Hey, I've done enough divorce work in my career to know that it makes me nauseous how people used to be married will treat each other. This one's kind of unique, but I've seen some others where people just go out of their way because they're so angry, go out and do stupid shit to the other person. And they're not, I mean, who sends text messages about, here's my crime to my girlfriend? And then when she finds out what a piece of shit you are to your ex-wife, what is she going to think about their relationship? She's going to rat your ass out. Mm-hmm. They grab all your phones. He doesn't seem like he's the sharpest tool in the shed.
No.
And this kind of animus is that's why I don't do any family law anymore. I rid of my last case. I'm done. I ain't going to touch that shit no more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Call this man Spray Tan.
Oh boy. Oh jeez. Oh man.
We'll accept that, Rico.
This is wilding, man.
Yeah.
Number one, if JD Vance and the numerous people in high places have been taken down by Telegram haven't taught you already, Telegram does not have end-to-end encryption. So that's number one. You will get popped on that shit. It has several features. Like if you're into technology or whatever, look into that shit before y'all start trying to trap on Telegram and those other apps. Make sure they're set up properly, because you will get popped and that shit will be released. You will be embarrassed.
It's just so stupid. I don't have any respect for the Instagram trappers, the Telegram trappers. Like back in my day, we had to go like actually find customers and stuff. So like, I don't know. Listen, shop my menu. No thanks, officer. I'm good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
COVID changed everything. COVID changed everything.
I think Craigslist was the first online platform I saw people trapping on.
Yeah, no, 100%. They did it on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace.
Shout out to Casual
Snapchat. Missed Encounters.
Free Pavel. Free Pavel, bro. Free Pavel.
I saw you across the street in front of Starbucks. You were wearing a white shirt.
Go back to the good old days. Hit me on the page or put 911 after the number if you need it right now.
I used to make people spend text me how much they wanted to spend too. So then that way I already had their order ready.
Right. Tan deserves to be in jail, man. Not only was he sloppy with the whole setup and everything, he got scared. So you deserve to be locked up, man. You never go half in, half out on some shit like this. Either you in or you out. And if you're scared, go to church.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Tan lives with his mommy, so he's not going to have her to protect him while he's in prison.
Hey, come on! Don't talk about people that live with their mom. Like times is tough. Times is tough these days, and I would say about like 60-70% of the next generation coming out of college, they have to live with their parents because they can't afford to do shit else.
That's cool and all. They're not going to go get married, move their wife in there, and then not quite have enough to buy the weed.
There's always enough to buy weed. Always.
Tan's a lame. Tan's a buster, but all right.
Apparently, there's always enough money to buy some weed. I mean,
no scrubs.
What about the vegetable matter?
Yeah, I thought that was cute. That was a cute definition right there, vegetable matter.
Right?
I like that. I like that.
So call that.
Any final thoughts on this, Rachelle?
Yeah.
I think this guy's a psycho. For the record, just want to put that out there.
Fair. Very fair.
Why you say that, Rachelle?
He put a tracking device on his wife's car because he was paranoid that she was cheating and he planted drugs on her. Yeah, it sounds like a winner to me.
It sounds sane.
While he's texting his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
This whole case is wild.
we're talking about Singapore. It could be like, cultural differences. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. No, this dude is a psycho. He's trash. Tan, they should bury your ass under the jail. Dude, do better, Mr.
And
Spray
this guy, and he's snitching on himself to his new girlfriend. Like, stupid.
Oh, she won't say anything, right?
Exactly.
How old is Tan? Did they say how old he was? 37? Like, you got no excuses, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
You
come
old
on.
enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You know better. Do better, man. Hope that 3 years does you right and you actually get reformed.